I'm Hannah, and today we're going to be continuing on with the story of Joseph. Now, last week we heard about some dreams that Pharaoh had. With God's help, Joseph was able to tell Pharaoh what the dreams meant. The dreams included the number 7 and some healthy things getting swallowed by some less healthy things. There were cows and there were stalks of wheat. And what the dreams meant were that there would be 7 years of crops, lots of food growing well in Egypt. But this would be followed by 7 years of famine where there would be no food. Joseph had a plan. You can see in the clip that's playing as I'm talking that Joseph went ahead with this plan with Pharaoh's permission. He wanted to store the food from the 7 good years ready for the 7 years of famine. God gave Joseph this good idea. God gave Pharaoh the dreams to warn the people and made sure Joseph was in the right place at the right time to continue with God's plan. We've seen over the last few weeks that God has a plan for Joseph. Every week we see another part of the plan, the way he's with Joseph. And now, because of the dreams, Joseph knew exactly what to do next. He was ready for the famine. The Egyptians were ready for the famine because of the dreams. They had food, and this meant that people from other countries would come to Egypt to get food during those 7 years of famine. And you'll never guess who came all the way to Egypt looking for food. We're going to watch a clip now to find out.
I'm sorry, but you haven't contributed to our supply.
We don't ask for charity. We'll pay you with silver.
How many of you are there?
There are 12 of us. 10 of us here. At home we have our father and youngest brother.
Very well. Give them...
Nothing! 10 foreigners asking for grain. No ties to Egypt. Are you thieves hoping to see where we store our grain? Spies? I don't know what you are, but I don't believe your story.
Your Excellency, everything we say is true. I swear it.
Then prove it. Produce this youngest brother.
But why?
What would that prove?
That you're not lying. If you're telling the truth, I will let you buy all the grain you want. Until then, arrest this one. We'll hold him until you produce this youngest brother. Take him.
Stop! Judah! Oh, help me!
No! Let's go!
No!
Joseph, what are you doing? They're just trying to feed their families.
They're thieves, here to steal our grain.
They needed food and they were prepared to pay for it. How can you say they're thieves? They've done nothing to you.
Nothing. They're my brothers.
What?
They sold me. They sold me into slavery. They took me away from my home. I never got to say goodbye to my mother. I never got to see my father grow old.
Joseph, I didn't know. You're here now. You have a home, a wife who loves you. Everything you could want.
No, not everything.
I thought you learned something in that cell. Remember when I would bring food to you?
Yes. It kept me going.
Hey, you won't keep me here. My brothers will come for me.
My brothers will come.
So Joseph's brothers came to Egypt to buy food. God was bringing the family back together as part of his plan. Did you notice how Joseph reacted to his brothers? He was angry. He didn't fully understand God's plan. He couldn't see the big picture yet. After the part of the story we saw in the video, the story continues. The brothers do bring Benjamin back, and Joseph tests them by hiding a silver cup in Benjamin's sack to see how they will react, to see if the brothers would abandon Benjamin the way that they abandoned Joseph. But the brothers had changed. They'd learned from the past. Now let's think a little bit about the choices Joseph had. I've put some of them on this spinning wheel. He could choose to stay angry. He could choose to run away and ignore his feelings. He could choose to get revenge or payback by keeping his brothers in jail or refusing to let them buy food. Or he could forgive them. Which of these actions would show that Joseph was trusting in God's plan? We can forgive others because God has forgiven us. He sent Jesus to die in our place so that we can be forgiven. Choosing to forgive can be tricky, especially when our feelings are really big. In the story, we saw Joseph having that big feeling of anger. How do you feel when someone hurts you? Maybe a brother or a sister, someone at school. How do you feel when you get into trouble for something that you didn't do? How do you feel when someone takes something from you? These things can give us some of these big feelings. Look at these faces. Can you make some of them with your own face now? Can you look angry or sad or confused? In the video, we saw Joseph was feeling some of these things and he had a choice to make. God loved Joseph and God loves you. When we have these big feelings, we can trust God to help us to forgive others. Do you think that Joseph trusted God to forgive his brothers? We're going to spin the wheel, but come back next time to find out.